common themes that you like that you're seeing in the tour of duty, and what are maybe a couple things collectively you want to see guys still improve on?
You know, I mean, it's a daily process, and you know, we talk a lot about not only what we're doing, but just equally as important as how we're doing it, and being able to get the right mindset, the right approach. You know, everybody in the country is going through, you know, winter conditioning. Everybody in the country is going through a strength conditioning program. But how your mindset and approach each and every day to the standard, to the expectation, right? That's what I'm looking for. And you know, I'll tell you that, you know, we still have a lot of work to do. I mean, today it was a little humid, a little hot. You know, I don't know if we responded in the way that I'd like to see us respond, but it's still early in our process, and so all we can do is respond to what we show and who we are, and continue to get better.
We see the different colored jerseys. What do they mean for the players as they earn them?
As we go through that, you know, we grade everything that we do. You know, everybody can talk about an expectation and what they want to be, but you know, we get an opportunity to film everything that we do. We get a chance to see body language, response, all those things throughout the workouts, and so we put people in jerseys accordingly.
So you'll go back and rewatch film of how the guys worked out?
Absolutely.
Are the jerseys something they change on a per workout basis, per day basis?
Yes, sir. I mean, that's how we're graded. Every day, every game, every opportunity you get, you're going to be evaluated by what you do and you know, obviously what you put on film. And so you know, there's guys that are doing an exceptional job, performing at a very high level, and there's guys that have you know are missing out on some of the minimum expectations of what we're going to do. And so you know, everybody's going to be held accountable for our actions, and all we can do is respond and get better.
Coach, one of the goals for this, I'm sure, is for leaders to emerge. So far, you've had a few weeks. Who are some of the guys that are jumping out at you?
Right now, it's you know, for leadership to emerge, you know, we've got to have consistent actions. You know, I think leadership will show over time. Right? Nobody yet. I mean, in reality, because we're not consistent enough to have the leadership that's necessary. You know, right now we need our coaches to lead. I need to lead. I need to go out there every day when I step in that building and make sure that my standard and my work and my detail, everything that I'm doing, is to an elite level, because that's what I want these kids to do. And as they can continue to put that performance over and over again, then we'll have a chance. But I'm excited about the group. We've got a really good group of young men I get to coach. I'm honored for the opportunity to coach them. But we've got work to do, and you know, obviously it's a daily process for our growth.
How much progress have you seen since the beginning of this until now?
You know, we've seen progress, no doubt, but it's you know, I think it's an understanding of what the expectation is, and then having to match that expectation. It should get harder every day. You know, we talk about what our standards is. You know, I'm not focused on what we're going to do here in spring ball yet. I'm focused on today being better than we were yesterday. And if we're not going in there and being the best version of ourselves with every rep that we have, with our mindset, with our approach, then you know, we're not maximizing the day. And so you know, there should be a natural progression to what we're doing, but the standard is what I want to see in every aspect of it.
The actual regimen, did Coach Storms design the layout and I guess the course that they go through, or how did that come about?
Well, to be honest with you, it's something I've been kind of a part of for the last 14 or 13 years, and it truly started here in this practice field. And you know, my former head coach, Coach Graham, when he was a high school coach at Allen High School, he came out to watch Coach Bowden and this team for a week, and he watched their old school mat drills and what they did and how they did it, and that's where you get the edge. And that's where the mindset and the approach comes. Obviously, we've continued to develop what we do and tie things to this team and what we want to see. But the core of it started here with one of the greatest programs in the country. That was the most consistently successful program in the history of college football, and that's where we got it from. And it's pretty special to bring it back.
You said right now the coaches are leading. The obvious thing is you want the players to eventually be the leaders. Is there a hopeful timetable of when that happens, or is it just one of those that happens when it happens?
I mean, it's going to occur when the words equal the actions. I mean, at the end of the day, I think everybody wants to push leadership, so who can get up and give a great speech. Leadership is not about a speech. It's about consistent action, you know, day in and day out to the standard, right? And then if we can focus on ourselves and continue to push and continue to be that example, then when it's time to say something, then people might actually listen. So it's every day when if I can come out and be a leader to the best of my ability, and these young men get a chance to see that, then I probably have a better chance for them to respond the way that's necessary for us to be successful. But it's the same that goes for each and every one of them.
You guys actually have to like coach up the managers on how to do what they do?
Managers is my favorite group in the thing. I mean, we got my pit crews working pretty good on those mats, right? Get some big bodies are sweating all over the place, and between every rep, and that's a great example. Those guys, they go in there, they got a passion, they got a purpose. I mean, they're trying to help do their job to help this football team move forward. That's why everybody involved is important. Everybody involved has a role and a responsibility. Not everybody can coach, but everybody can make an impact. And that's what we're trying to push, whether it comes to our academics, when it comes to our athletic training, strength and development, the managers that are helping set things up. I mean, we want this to be the standard of how we operate every single day.
So are you watching everybody else, not just the players?
Oh, everybody gets evaluated, right? I mean, I evaluate myself. I mean, every day when I get done, I think of the areas that I can be more consistent, that I can be better. The coaches, there are some things today that we have to be better as a coaching staff with, and in our instruction, how we're leading the players, the tempo of how we're operating. It's all part of our process, and it always has to improve.
When you was a head coach, you being that active and that vocal in the drills, is that a conscious choice, or is that just how you're wired? You know what I mean? Like, are you doing that so they see it, or is that just how you are?
I don't. There's everything from you see from me is going to be who I am, and I love what I get to do. I'm in coaching because I want to impact. I want to be able to help inspire. I want to be able to teach. I want to make sure that everybody's kind of building and pushing in the same direction, because we've got guys that are in the program right now that are way more than they've ever weighed, or stronger than they've ever been, or working at a level that is extremely impressive. Well, responding to that success and some of the positive gains, man, that's harder sometimes than responding to adversity, because you get complacent, you get comfortable, you feel like you've arrived. So that's why everybody's got to push, and I'm here to help those guys in that process.
Coach, practice starts up March 7. What's between now and then? What's the schedule? What do you guys hope to accomplish in the next couple of days?
It's good now. We've got this signing days passed. I gave the coaches a couple days around the weekend. It's been a constant go since last July for a lot of us, and so it was good. It was good to get a couple days with a long weekend. But now it's back to all of our focus and developing our players. We're going to be able to get some time in meeting rooms within our 8 hours. We're going to be able to continue to ramp up our tour of duty. We're going to go to two workouts a week with that, which is going to be good. I'm going to get probably into some position-specific drills of changing direction and making sure that we're working the agility aspect of what we're doing at each position. But it's about continuing to build the mind. And at the end of the day, it's just every opportunity we can be in front of our players, we can continue to build those relationships, we can inspire them to be better, and then it's a day that's heading in the right direction.
You guys have a couple practices before spring break coming up. Is that by choice, or is that just because of the way the schedule?
Yeah, more the way the schedule rolls. I mean, I think it's a good schedule because of how early we start in spring classes. We started back on January 6th, and I think our first time that we were in here was that first Friday. And so there's been a good amount of work. So we're going to get a good winter conditioning session with Coach Storms. I think you can already start seeing some of the changes in our guys' bodies. As you can see today, we work them. So we're working to build that conditioning level so that we can maximize the 15 practices that we have. But it's not just the physical conditioning; it's the mental conditioning. That's something that we're going to continue to work on. But we will get the 3 practices before spring break, which will get a nice introduction, and then we'll come back after spring break and really roll through it. All the way till I think it's April 19th, with the 18th being a spring game.